Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for March 2023. We're just going to jump right in here, Taurus, and take a look at your current general energies. In this first row, you have this, my castle is my home. And I'll tell you what, Taurus, you have Uranus in your sign. And I've been saying for a very long time that it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of you were moving or if you were doing things to kind of like change up your environment. And again, your environment is where you live, obviously. And you have the world here. So some of you, again, with Uranus and Taurus, I think the thing that you should focus on is your values. Like what do you value? Do you value peace? Do you value, being free? Do you value being around a lot of people, like in the city? What is it? I can't answer that question for you, obviously. You have to answer that question for yourself. And, what I would say here is that I feel some of you could be making some changes, or at least you are thinking about making some changes, like moving, traveling more. Maybe you're trying to discover what your castle could be. And sorry, this card, you have the Empress wanting to pop out there. So not really a card that I picked, but we'll take it. Good card. Why not? Right? So we'll put it to the side. Let's see what is going on for you at this time here, Taurus. I'm going to switch back here. You have two cards want to come out. You have like a lot of cards that want to come out here. I'm also noticing just a lot of people in this, in your reading. So a lot of you could be a very social time. But you have the world, and the world can represent completion and accomplishments. The interesting thing is that when I go in this direction here, you go through the Strength card to the King of Cups. This card, it actually, just pretend that it does not say the King of Swords. It is the King of Cups. This is a misprint. And so what I would say here is that, the King of Cups to me is a clue card for the home. Again, not accurate tarot, but there are several cards that I have in the tarot that to me represent a clue. And, it could be anything. In the case of the King of Cups, to me, he can come up when we are looking for a new place to live. I think it's also interesting that you have the Eight of Cups, which could also represent kind of like walking away from things that no longer serve you. I think that it's not really a mistake that the Empress came up here either, because the Empress is, well, number one is you, Taurus. Number two can definitely represent your values. She normally on a traditional Empress card has like heavy clothing on. It's meant to look like it's folding into the creases of her body because it's meant to represent something of quality, something that she values, the clothing that she's wearing on the card. And so she has a lot to do with values. And like I said, I feel a lot of you could be very focused on values, or sorry, won't focus, but focusing on, kind of creating more value in your life. I do feel like you have this Five of Pentacles. And again, I do feel like you could be kind of seeing things that you're lacking. I kind of like feel good about this with the Five of Pentacles here. And just looking at everything else that's going on in your reading, it's almost like you could be seeing the areas of life that are lacking, but again, we have to see those things. I always think of like Louise Hay, for example. She used to say that, basically the reason we need to sometimes look at the negative is because if you have like dirt on your floor and you can't see it, then how can you clean it up, right? So it's like sometimes we have to look at the things that we don't want to see to be able to fix them in the first place. So, again, for some of you, I feel like this is just saying that you're seeing some things that you want to fix at this time. For some of you, I feel like you've been seeing these things for a while. And again, you could literally be cleaning up your home here with this, my castle is my home, or whatever this card says here. You have the Page of Swords. So again, being a detective, I think it's also very interesting that we go Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords to the King of Swords over here. So for a lot of you, I kind of feel that this is you kind of seeing what needs to be fixed in your life. I also feel for some of you, this is having to do with work, like especially for those of you that have been working on a project I see here, or like a business. It's almost like you're seeing what has been missing, or you're seeing the things that maybe have to be cleaned up a little bit is kind of what I'm getting. With the World card, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but really in this reading, I feel like it's talking about fears. The reason I say that is because whenever I have two sevens right next to each other, to me, two sevens represent internal fears that don't exist. So I feel that there could be some fears around like moving, traveling, changing your environment, just making a change in general. And I would say let those fears go, obviously. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Hierophant. You showing up here twice now in your reading really puts you in a position of power and strength. I feel like this is saying don't be afraid to break rules, The Hierophant, he represents traditional thinking, but sometimes I think we need to break the rules with the Hierophant because he kind of represents like inside the box thinking. Sometimes I think we need to think outside the box with the Hierophant. So don't be afraid to break the rules. With the Page of Swords, you have the Magician here. Yeah, so creating like a new beginning. I feel for a lot of you, this whole entire reading is saying that you kind of have a choice right now. And I feel like I see you creating some sort of new beginning. I think it's super weird as well that you have the Judgment card right here in this last position. And like multiple people that I've been reading for have had the Judgment card in that position. So super interesting to me. I feel that for a lot of you, that you could be waking up to something, but I'm wondering now if it's like a collective energy because so many people have had it. Next, what are we doing? Oh yeah, we're going to look at the unexpected. You have this imperfect harmony card. I don't really, again, as I always say to you earth signs, there really isn't much unexpected coming in for you at this time. But what I would say is I feel that for some of you, you could be working together with a person. This could be in business, and maybe you've been struggling in business with finding people to work with. And maybe it just never works out. For others, I do feel this could be love. It could be a Capricorn or a Leo. That is, that's what stands out to me right now in this reading. Also, Aquarius kind of stands out to me. And I feel like it'll be a very deep connection if you want love. It could be someone older than you. And, you know, I feel like this person really kind of like proves like they're very trustworthy. I feel like they're honest to a fault. They might even say things like, it's kind of funny because if you're attracting love, it could be a little unexpected. And I feel like they could say things that might hurt your feelings, but not in a hurt your feelings way. I feel like they're just super honest, you know, and it could be like one of those things where you're like, wow, this person does not give a you know what. But it's like in a good way, you know what I mean? I think it kind of is one of those things that it will prove that to you that they're super honest. And, you know, that's what I'm getting here. For others, what I would say here is I feel like what's going to be surprising to you is like once you commit to something in your life that how quickly it's going to start moving forward, especially if you've been having a hard time. Like, look at this. We go 7 of Wands to the 8 of Cups to the Judgment card. This is kind of like saying to me that you've had to walk away from like business ideas or projects or things that you've been working towards. It kind of gives me the vibes of getting excited about something for some reason this way right here. It's giving me these vibes of getting excited about things and then being let down. Kind of, you know, like a little bit of that false start energy. But really, to me, like the Ace of Wands is a false start, for example. And so I don't really see anything here that would say that. But again, I read intuitively. And what I'm getting is I feel like you get excited by things. It doesn't work out. And, you know, I feel like there's some sort of change here where it's like once you make the commitment with that 7 of Wands, 7 of Wands is knowing that you know that something is going to be successful. Believing it deep down inside. Once you do that, you're going to be successful. I also feel, you know, it's kind of interesting that the Strength card has come up quite a bit. And I get this feeling that I feel a lot of us, it's like maybe we're getting to this place in life where we've kind of done enough work on ourselves. So the universe is like saying, okay, now it's time for that like final push to push through the obstacles because you're going to be successful this time. It's almost like we've all been doing a lot of like personal development work. Maybe it's not like, you know, personal development work, but through the lessons and the things that we've been learning, we've been doing this work. And I feel like the universe is like saying, okay, like one final push, especially for those of you that are working on projects, businesses, whatever. You have the Devil card here. The Devil is a card of success, and it is also a card of abundance. So I feel like there is a lot of success coming in for you. And no, it's not. By the way, I totally trailed off here. This is not a card of success and abundance, but it was popping into my head, which is hilarious. But what I was going to say is that I think it is success and abundance for you if you express something into the world. I frequently say with the Devil that they have these chains around their necks, right? But the chain like hangs down to here on the people that are on the Devil card or traditional Devil card. They could easily lift that chain off from around their neck. It's like they're not tied to the Devil. And so what I feel here is that there's kind of like some sort of breakthrough that needs to happen in your life where it's like you have to, you know, overcome some sort of limiting belief or something that you feel has been holding you back for a long time. And it's almost like there's just like one thing. I don't really have a good example for you, Taurus. other than YouTube, because that's all I do all day, right, is YouTube. And what I would say is, I've seen it with other YouTubers where it's like all of a sudden it's like they kind of become more comfortable on camera, or they kind of have that breakthrough, right, where they just kind of snap out of it and they just get comfortable and they just say whatever and they become very successful because they're like not overthinking, right? And I kind of get that energy for you here, where it's like it doesn't matter what you're trying to do, but it feels like a project to me, or a personal project or a business. I feel like this is saying, doesn't matter what it is, but it's like that type of breakthrough needs to happen. And, there really is no good way to make that happen other than to practice. Again, like I said, it's like most YouTubers who have that breakthrough, it's just because they just keep doing it. They just don't stop. So I feel like this is kind of encouraging you to embrace some of that Capricorn energy. And even with the Seven of Wands, you have the Devil. I would definitely be protecting yourself from any devil-like energy. Again, people always say your readings are too positive. You don't talk about the Seven of Swords and the Devil. Well, it's like, okay, like I can tell you that there's a person who cheated on you and did all these horrible things, but like, so what? What are you going to do with it? And to me, my thing is that the whole point of tarot isn't to be like, oh, this person did all this horrible stuff. Too friggin' bad, right? Deal with it. That's basically what most of these readings are. It basically doesn't provide anything other than, mental, masturbation basically is what it is as far as I'm concerned, because it's like you just keep learning about it, the same thing over and over and over again. But what I would say here is, okay, maybe that happened to some of you. Really, I feel like what this is saying is that you need to express something into the world. Again, with the Devil card, sometimes I feel like it represents that root chakra energy, but the solution to any of that is to bring the ideas up to our head and express them into the world. So, I kind of feel that for some of you. I also feel it's kind of like saying don't give up. The Seven of Wands is a card of persistence. It is kind of like the Nine of Wands. It says do not give up on something you're working on. It's going to work out really well. With the Strength card, you have the Knight of Wands. Definitely could be a fire sign coming in for you here. You have a lot of fire showing up in this reading. If it's not a fire sign, I would say it's definitely a person who has a lot of fire in their chart. With the Devil, you have the Seven of Cups. Too much indecision here, Taurus. I feel like for some of you, it's like, really, the Devil is just talking about exactly what I was saying, like overcoming that, I always say that it's imposter syndrome, but, whatever it is for you, it could be something different. It could be like needing to express yourself more. Again, if it's like, let's say it's YouTube, for example, maybe there's some sort of breakthrough that you need to have, or you need to become more comfortable on camera or whatever. If it's in your career, maybe you need to ask for a raise or a promotion. It's like there's some sort of barrier that needs to be overcome here. It looks like you're going to be victorious. I mean, you go up to the King of Swords, and you have the Judgment card here as well. Like, Judgment also can represent breaking through a barrier, because normally those people are standing in a coffin. It's like the coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. Not really a barrier, but they have to step into their new life. So it kind of is, right? Even next, for what you need to hear right now, you have this Two Paths card. Clearly, there is a path that you have to choose from here. And I feel like for some of you, you need to kind of like make a decision. I would pick the new path with this card. I'm just looking at what's going on here on the card, but I kind of feel like you need to kind of like get going. There's something mysterious about this card. It's like giving me these mystery vibes. So again, maybe the new path is more mysterious if you're trying to make a choice between like career and a business, or two different careers or whatever. It feels work related to me, and I just feel the new path would be the right path for you. I am also getting something on love here. Again, I do feel you can see that these paths are in parallel. So you could be attracting a person where it's like you have very similar, parallel paths. You have the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the King of Cups. Again, we're just going to pretend for a second that this does not say King of Swords. This is the King of Cups, but I do feel that there clearly could be solid love coming in for you. You have the King and Queen of Cups, which would represent divine counterparts, so there could be a divine counterpart coming in for you. Doesn't really feel like a water sign. It could be, but I would say I'm leaning more towards fire or air actually showing up here, or it could be another earth sign as well. But again, take it how it resonates. General reading, could be any sign. I would say that they're probably very fiery, and again, the honesty thing is also popping into my head. I think that this person is very honest if you are looking for love. For those of you that are not looking for love, this has to do with your home. I definitely felt it at the beginning of the reading. So I feel like some of you, there's some sort of change in the home. We even see that here with the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups could be you walking away from people, people who no longer serve you, but I feel like you're kind of just walking away from things in general that don't provide value to your life. So, again, with Uranus and Taurus, you are going to be very focused on value, and I feel like you're going to be making sure that you get your value out of any situation you enter into. It doesn't matter, work, business, love, spirituality, whatever. You're probably just going to be making sure that it matches up with your values. This is like subconscious. You're probably not even consciously doing this, but if you think about it, then I think you'll be like, oh, I am choosing things of more value. You have the Knight of Swords here. No rushing at this time, no rushing decisions. I also am getting here that if you have two decisions to make, it's like maybe one decision, there are people or there's situations that are kind of trying to rush you in a direction. I feel like the other one is just like take it or leave it. And I actually feel that take it or leave it, option is going to be a better option. Whatever it is that you're doing here. Kind of interesting. It's like, this could be like a pushy salesperson. And it's like, maybe there's another salesperson that's like, you can either buy this or don't buy it. I don't care. And it's like, I would actually go that direction because, I feel that's the better choice. Let's see what's going on here. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Six of Swords. Moving on to calmer shores, definitely a lot of improvements for you at this time. So I feel like there are improvements. I feel you should be looking towards improvements as well. Like anything that you can do or create that could bring improvements into your life, I would do those things with the Six of Swords. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely a Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you, for sure. For those of you that want love, this is an awesome reading, for sure. I feel that there could be a very, like I said, fiery person coming in for you. With the King of Cups, you have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, you have to, I think this is true for everyone. We have to end the round-around situations in our lives. For whatever reason, it seems to me like round-around situations are being triggered right now in everyone. It seems to be a collective energy where it's like, if there's anything in your life, anything, people, places, things, doesn't matter, that where it's like there's this repeated story that you have lived before. The Nine of Swords lately, to me, has been saying, go the other direction, do something new. They say that, what do they say? That the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And somebody always leaves me a comment, that's not the definition. Okay, I don't care, right? I'm making a point here. So, yes, I understand that it's not really what Einstein said or whatever. I don't care. The whole point is, again, I think right now, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So I feel a lot of you, it's like you're, and a lot of people in general seem to be ending hamster wheels, or at least have the opportunity to end a hamster wheel. So if you have the opportunity, I would end the hamster wheel, whatever it is. Next, in the area of your, the good stuff, whatever, it doesn't matter if it shows up here, it's going to be good no matter what. You have this new moon in Virgo. It says, trust all will be well. So definitely improvements and good things coming in for you. You have the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Judgment card. I kind of feel like this is the person that you're attracting, like a King of Swords, King of Wands type person. I kind of feel that Queen of Cups is you and just your heart. She kind of represents your emotions and being taken care of emotionally. So I feel for a lot of you, there's like a lot of happy emotions around this Queen of Cups. The King of Swords, again, I feel is like honesty. We said this at the beginning of the reading. So a very honest person. Definitely could be someone older than you, for sure, Taurus, because again, I get this like very honest type energy here. You have this King of Wands, and again, maybe too honest, let's put it that way. You have this King of Wands. Again, I feel like this could also be the person you're attracting. Doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to either. I feel like they are just very bold, assertive, very straightforward. Like I said, brutally honest is what I would say here. But I kind of see it as something that you appreciate. I also have like Lego popping into my head for some odd reason, like as in the bricks that you put together to build something. So, but it's kind of seems separate to me, is what I'd say. It's almost like a separate message. I'm wondering if you're like building something up and it's like brick by brick. You are putting something together and maybe you have that feeling. I kind of feel like the King of Wands is saying, keep nurturing whatever you're building. It's going to grow. You have the Judgment card here. So, like I said, very weird week, or very weird month. It's like everyone's had the Judgment card. What I would say is like once we get to the middle of March, it's like things improve astrologically. So, it kind of makes sense. I think that maybe people would be feeling more awake, more alive, more like they're kind of like waking up out of a bad dream, Nine of Swords. So, a lot of people could be feeling that, but I also feel like this is saying answer the call. Like if you are presented with a new path, pick the new path. Like this could be a new job, new business, whatever. I feel that there's a new path that could be opening up for you that is like very, very abundant. With the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords, you have the Page of Cups. We already know this. And, this is definitely love. Again, this is one of those readings where even if you're saying, I don't want love, it's like, well, okay, that's not going to stop someone from approaching you, right? So, again, even if you don't want it, you don't have to accept it in your life. I'm just saying, here it is, right? With the King of Cups, you have, or sorry, the King of Wands, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, if you want love, amazing. Ten of Pentacles to me is the best love card in the deck because it's like, it's everything you want. Normally, this card represents the tree of life, so it's kind of like everything you want and desire to have in your life. But if you don't want love, I feel this, and even if you do, again, I love the King of Wands for business. He's like the true entrepreneur in the tarot, so it could be a very like entrepreneurial time for you with this Ten of Pentacles. And again, but it looks to me like you're building things. And again, I always say you always get this card. Uranus and Taurus is building, leaving a legacy. Ten of Pentacles is building, leaving a legacy. So it makes sense to me. With the Judgment card, you have the World, so accomplishments coming in for you, and definitely kind of like waking up to something here. It's like you're completing the major arcana is really what this reading is saying to me. I don't know, that's what's like popping into my head, and you're just getting ready for a new beginning. Love it, Taurus. We are going to pull 5 main themes now, and we're going to see what is going on for you at this time. You have this Axe card. It says forces working against you. We all feel like this right now. I feel like it's an illusion. I really feel a lot of us need to, it's like, I think we need to raise the vibration of the world. I talk about this a lot. I always am telling people that I think we need to create more positive snowballs. Just look at my comments, right? It's like I get all these comments of people who tell me how horrible it is right now. And I'm like, yes. And again, I talk positively because we need to go the other direction. It's like instead of just mentally masturbating over how horrible everything is in the world right now, which has done nothing. By the way, we've been playing this game for like 300 years, so thinking negatively does absolutely nothing, I promise you. But it's like maybe if we, think more positively, if we learn how to get cameras to focus, if we, put in the work and start creating positive snowballs, maybe we can, instead of just like sitting there and be like, oh, the news is horrible, right? Instead of doing that, maybe we could actually make things better. So, that's what I'm trying to do. If you don't agree with that, I don't get lost, right? You have this Ram card. It says a stubborn, aggressive person. There you go, like me, right? Stubborn, aggressive, but I feel like you could be attracting a person like this, but I don't think they're like this in a bad way. Again, I get more assertive type energy here. You have this Quill. It says, get back to basics. A lot of cards of simplification I've noticed, like over the past few weeks, showing up in readings. So, keep it simple is what I would say. You have this February card. You also have this candle, which says, you will be shown the way. So again, I'm putting these videos out on, I don't know, I can't read what today is. Today is the 25th. So this reading will be out on the 26th of February. So you could be getting a message this month in February, if you're watching it in February, about the direction, the path that you need to pick. And finally, you have this tulip. It says, great passion. Yes, I would move more towards your passions. That's more of what the world needs. But pretty good reading here, Taurus. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.